Show me that smile again. Don't waste another minute on your crying. We're nowhere near.
Hey guys, Panera here with another crazy video. We're coming at you from the Piggy Studios with a crazy video to address a little bit of a request, a little bit of a something you guys want, which is Piggy, do a mentalism trick. Hey Piggy, show us something with some hot mentalism. We're tired of the card tricks, Piggy. We already know all the card tricks. Shut up. You don't know what you want. I know what you want. You guys want some hot mentalism. Well, here's a easy bit of mentalism that you could do with just a regulation pen. Doesn't have to have 4 colors, but why else would you need any other pen if you have one pen that does all 4 things and you have a post-it note pad? This is all you need to be able to get anyone you want, anywhere you want, at any time you want. So let's just jump right into it. Let's just
I don't wanna wait for all nights to be.
So let's just jump right into it. Let's just jump right into it. So for this trick, you make the bold claim that you in fact know what the spectator is thinking of. That's right, you are a mentalist. So you offer the spectator a little bit of an experiment. You tell them to clear their minds. Don't think of anything and just try to focus in on the sounds around them as you write something down on your little post-it pad. Just like this, you go, oh, I'm getting an impression. Definitely gonna get an impression. I'm getting a major clue. I'm getting a massive clue here. And this first one, you tell the spectator to hold it in their hand, not to open it, but just to hold it in their hand and cup it inside. And you tell them, what I want you to do, sir, right now is name the first animal that comes to your head. Just name the first animal that comes right to your head. And let's say the spectator happens to say a fox. You go, wait a second, fox? Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Open up your hand. Let me get that. Wait a second. Let's try this again. You're doing so well. I want to do this again with you. Clear your mind. Don't think of anything. Hold the paper tight in your hand. Clear your mind. All right, look at me. All right. Okay, I got this. Oh man. Oh, I'm so I'm so excited I could barely contain myself. Okay, there you go. Sir, do me a favor, hold out your hand. Put this other piece of paper in your hand as well. And of course, the spectator does the same. Sir, this time, without any sort of thinking whatsoever, I want you to name the first playing card that comes to your head. Go ahead, name the first playing card. And the spectator is, of course, gonna go 7 of spades. And you go, this is working out better than I thought. 7 of spades? Are you sure? 7 of spades. That's the one that comes to your head. This is. Can we try one last thing with you? All right, clear your mind, sir. Don't say anything. Don't say anything to me. Just look at me in the face. Look at me in the face. Okay, good. I got this. Oh my goodness. Such a clue going on right now. There are so many clues happening right now. And of course, you give them one last sheet of paper and you tell them to hold on to it in their hands. Make sure that doesn't go anywhere. This time you put away the pad and the notebook and you tell the spectator, listen, sir, I want you to think of a number, but let's make it between 1 and 50, right? Let's make it between 1 and 50. Why don't we make both digits odd and different? Can we do that? Yeah, I think those are good enough restrictions. You still have a lot of numbers you can think of, 15, right? So go ahead, I want you to name the first number that comes to your head. And of course, the spectator might say 35, he might say 37. You go, oh, 37? No way, unbelievable. I've never heard anyone say such a number. You could have said something like 17, but you said 37. Oh boy. You tell them to take out and open up their palm and they have 3 pieces of paper that have been in their possession. And you remind them that they named the things after you've already written something down. So there's no way you could do any of that magician trickery. And here they just said 37. And you show them a little bit of a piece of paper. Yeah, I just realized that. There you go. See, you can see it. I was afraid I had to reshoot this because you couldn't see it, but it says 37. It says 37 with 35 crossed out, knowing that the spectator wouldn't pick 35. The other paper here, if we open it up, the card that freely named was the 7 of spades, but you have written down before they even said anything. The 7 of spades. And lastly, you could have had them name any animal they wanted. They could have said elephant. They could have said Roseanne. But instead, they said fox. And before they even said anything, you had written down fox. You want to know how it's done. You want to know how you can impress your friends and family at the next get-together. Or you want to learn how to impress the ladies at the Elks. Or you're just in luck. Because I'm going to show you how. So you got to make sure to subscribe and do all the things that people do. Because if not, then guess what? I become irrelevant. You know how many magic tutorial channels there are? You know how many magic channels there are on YouTube? So you better make sure that I stand out among them and dominate the YouTube parody magic tutorial scene. So for this, you need a pen, you need some paper. It could be anything. It could be business cards, it could be pads. And this is the classic one ahead sort of bit that you see in every single children's book. But it's still a powerful trick, but it's still a very easy trick. And it could be done really badly. So these are different ways that you could do this particular trick to avoid doing it incorrectly and seeming like a fool. So first thing you want to establish is that you don't want to have the spectator think of something ahead of time. I found it that if you tell them, for example, I want you to think of an animal, and I write something down, I crumble it up and I put it in their hand, and then I tell them, what animal did you think of? Spectators are going to go, you tell me. You tell me what animal I'm thinking of because you're the mentalist, you. So instead of having them think of an object, notice how I cleverly changed that to name any object. See the heat here? That's the heat. That's the heat that's being brought to the table here. So for this, you tell the spectator to clear their mind. You don't want them to think of anything. And the first thing you're going to write down is the thing that you're going to force in the end. Because for this method, you need to force one object to the spectator. In this case, I'm forcing the classic number 37 force. So this, if you guys don't know, it's pretty much a classic. It's you have the spectator think of a number between 1 and 50. However, conspire to make both digits different. And why not make both digits odd? And you find out with that instruction, I would say 90% of spectators are going to name either 35 or 37, especially if you name 15 as an example. So you say, for example, like 15 would work, but something like 33 would not work. You know, you give them a little bit of an example like that, spectators are going to go for either 35 or 37. You know what, 99% of the time, 99% of the time. And if they don't, you get it wrong, that's 1 out of 3. You still got 2 right. That's not something to complain about, right? Right? Even though I know I'm going to get some questions, but Piggy, I don't want to mess up. Messing up is fine. Bitch made. So here, the first thing you're going to write is that force. There's a little bit of a touch that I got from David Pogue. David Pogue, the author of Magic for Dummies. And this is one little touch that I got from him, which is very interesting, that you write 35, cross it out, and put a 37 there. Ooh, so good. So here, you tell the spectator, clear your mind, don't think of anything, you write this down. You're going to write this, crumble it up, and you're going to tell them to think of something. Now, here's the best part about this particular method. The first 2 things that you have them think about, they could think of anything in particular. However, you don't want them to do that because then it becomes a little bit constricting once you get to the end. So imagine if you tell the spectator, I want you to think of any person in the entire universe. You got that? Anyone ever. I want you to think of another thing. Again, it could be anything in the universe. And now I want you to think of a number from 1 through 50. Or now I want you to pick a playing card. You get me? It's a little bit odd. So here, I like to restrict it a little bit. Sir, name me any animal. That's restrictive enough. So at this point, they name whatever animal they want. In this case, let's say a fox. At this point, I like to pretend as if I'm going to open up the paper to show them that I've written down fox. However, I think twice about it and I go, you know what? Can we try something again? Can we try something else? Because I feel like we have such a connection here that, I just want to do this again. This, again, just gives a little bit of an impression that I could have shown them what's on this paper, but instead I wanted to continue to show them something else. You see oh man, so now guess what? They have a paper with 37 written in their hand. You know that they thought of fox. So the next thing you tell them, clear your mind. Don't think of anything in particular. Just look at me. All right. And of course, right now I write fox is what I write down. Fox. Yeah, boy. Crumble it up. Make sure they don't see it. Put it in their hand. And now I tell them, think of the first playing card or name the first playing card that comes to your head without thinking. At this point, of course, you know exactly where we're going. They name whatever card. You pretend like you're jubilant, like you're excited because you tell them, wait a minute. You really named that card? Are you serious? Because technically, if you are correct at this point, you would be a little bit excited. That makes sense, right? See that you're being consistent here. That's something that a lot of people lose when it comes to one ahead routines. So you note whatever playing card they name. Let's say it's a 7 of spades. You tell them to clear their mind one last time. Of course, guess what I'm writing? I'm writing 7 of spades on the notepad. Crumbling this up, putting this in the spectator's hand. At this point, I put away the pencil and the notepad, and I go into the 37 force. So remember, you have the spectator name a number between 1 and 50. Both digits are odd and both digits are different. Something like 15 would work, but something like 33 would not work. So name the first number that comes to your head, sir. 37, that's interesting. Oh, 35, even better. So here at this point, you are covered for 35 and 37. Again, if they don't name 35 or 37, you're wrong. It's fine. You still got 2 of them correct. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So that's something that you guys should not necessarily worry about too much. But now we have the situation where the spectator is holding 3 pieces of paper in their hand. And we can inform the spectator that they could have truly thought of anything. They could have truly named anything out loud. So you just pick up whichever random one here. You reiterate as you're opening this first one that the spectator named whatever it was after you have already written something down. So there's no possibility for trickery. And you say you could have named any card in particular, but you named you have them repeat it. They're going to say 7 of spades, and you show them, in fact, that you had written down 7 of spades. Oh, yeah. Next, you show them that they could have thought of any animal. They could have said any animal out loud. It could have been an elephant, could have been a tiger, could have been, they named a fox. They named a fox, and you, of course, had that down beforehand. And the last one, oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's inside. They could have named any number. It could have been 17. It could have been 39. It could have been anything. But instead, they named 37. And you had crossed out 35 as a possibility here and written 37 for the whole world to see. So there you have a very easy to do mentalism trick. One ahead gets you thinking about that particular sort of principle to get your noggin jogging. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned that and do it well, apply it to your own style. You could adapt it to many things. So you enjoy that. You enjoy that. It's been around pretty much forever. I'm pretty sure since people have been able to write and use paper. You've had some dumbasses doing this to try to get the ladies. Make sure to do all the things people do. Check the links in the description. Those help Piggy out tremendously. I'm going to go figure out different ways to use a Post-it pad to pick up a female. No, I'm not going to do that.
When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.